Hi, my name is Kalpesh Patel and I'd like to welcome you to our Bonofa presentation. Please sit back, relax, get yourself a cup of tea or coffee and enjoy the next few minutes to see how this company can change your life. What I'd like to do initially is just introduce you to the first video. It's a very short video that tells you about the marketplace as it is right now and what this company is doing to address that, and it's giving an opportunity to the masses to profit from the internet revolution. So please sit back and enjoy, and I'll see you in a couple of minutes. Bye.
The digital revolution has taken hold of our world. Everything is changing faster than ever. A trend which the retail trade, for example, is already clearly noticing. Worldwide, there is explosive growth in online trade. The product offering is wider, the prices lower. Lead times are getting ever shorter and suppliers' logistics ever better. This development is just the start. 25 to 30-year-olds already buy most things online. And this generation will determine our economy in the future. The result? The retail trade is dying out. Countless industry giants have already fallen victim to the digital transformation. Whole industries are changing overnight. Anyone who does not adapt in time will be left behind. It was never so simple and at the same time so complex to use the possibilities of the mobile world. What is true for businesses is also true for individuals. Do you measure up to the requirements of the digital, mobile future? And the mobile world mainly revolves around one thing: apps. Apps are more and more breaking out of the bonds of their mobile shells. They don't just live on the mobile phone, but also on the TV, on domestic appliances, and in the cloud. Apps are omnipresent. Just imagine what technologies will be possible with higher internet speeds. Some countries already have significantly higher data transmission rates, which enable new ways of living and working. We are standing at the very beginning of an enormous growth in bandwidth. The bandwidth revolution will make dramatic changes to the internet as we know it today. Not everyone will be able to keep up. Many people are overwhelmed by the digital revolution and only realize it when it's too late. Every change produces losers and winners. Which side are you on? Losers or winners? With Cube7, Bonofa offers you the once-in-a-lifetime chance to participate in the 5 strongest growth areas of the digital marketplace. Communication, shopping, gaming, entertainment, and apps. The triumphal progress of smartphones and tablets cannot be stopped. The future is mobile. The app economy is now an industry in its own right, with growth prospects which can only be guessed at. One success story follows the other. Instagram, WhatsApp, and many more. App developers made sales worth billions in 2011. Don't hesitate, because we are in the middle of the most fundamental upheaval of all time. Become a winner in the digital revolution with Bonofa.
Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that video. For me, it's a real reality check, and it just goes to show the world is changing at lightning speed right now. And some of us are caught in the middle of this transition, and I believe right now there is a massive wealth transfer happening, and it's happening online. If you're not on the internet, then you risk going out of business very, very quickly. So now let's have a look at what moves people to take massive action and make great things happen. Well, what I've found over the years in my studies of businesses, it's vision. And so one gentleman that's really kind of spearheaded this arena is Bill Gates. He had the vision that he wanted to put a computer in every single home. I think we'll both agree that he's almost there. Certainly in the Western world and most of the developed countries, that's the case, and the developing countries are quickly catching up. What about Mark Zuckerberg of Facebook? Only a few years ago, he had an idea of connecting people at universities. Today, he's connecting people all over the world where people share their lives and their stories online 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, all over the globe. So Bonofa's vision, we want to be the largest business network in the world. See, there's a lot of social media platforms, a lot of dating sites, a lot of different things on the internet, but we really bring in all of this together onto one platform, making it way more interactive and fun and hip and trendy. But we're also adding a lot of tools so that the entrepreneurs and the business people of the world can really get into this social media world. A lot of the tools available at the moment, they restrict entrepreneurs and business people from making the most use of these interactive social media platforms. And we've added some components that really make a huge difference. The people behind this whole company, 3 incredible gentlemen, the creative genius, the guy that's had all the ideas, the gentleman that, he, not just Bonofa, but has had the idea of several other companies we're going to talk about, including Cube7, which is our social media platform, is Martin Boehm. Martin is a young guy that his brain works at 100 miles an hour, and he pops out ideas at the speed of light. And then we've got the 2 guys that are investing in Martin and his ideas, and ultimately the CEOs of the company, Thomas Kuller and Detlev Tilgemkamp, otherwise known as Tilly. Very successful individuals. Both of them, I've spent a lot of time with them in Germany. They're really just down-to-earth, successful entrepreneurs that have worked very hard from their early 20s. They started out in sales. They were both the #1 salespeople for their relative companies. Eventually, they started their own organizations, hugely successful. And in the mid-80s, they combined forces and have been in business together ever since. So almost 30 years in partnership. They've opened up several companies in different arenas. They invest in gold, they invest in properties and real estate. They also place high net worth individuals' money in different financial markets for them and producing better results for people that are already on their way up. So, they kind of mastered the world of finance over the last 30 odd years, and now they want to build a company, and they've got a vision here to build this platform, which is a huge goal, and more about that as we go along. So they already have an in-house team here in Germany of 33 programmers, I believe it is now, and they're constantly adding and recruiting to that. Their goal is to double this within the next 3 months, so very aggressive expansion plans. But here's what I love about these guys. They actually employed over 30 full-time programmers from day one over a year ago, just developing the platform of Cube7. And then they took on the #1 guy that heads up the IT team, which is a gentleman that has, at the age of 7, mastered 7 programming languages. So again, they go for the best of the best. Their head of security is a gentleman that worked for American Express for over 30 years here in Germany as head of security. So what they're doing is they're building a corporate team around them that will allow them to do one thing and one thing only, and that is to go do an IPO, to go on the stock exchange within the next few years. And so that's a really exciting proposition right there. So what is our marketplace? It's the internet. We've already shown you in the first video that offline is struggling, online is booming. It's just the way it is. Everything has changed in the last 20 years, and it's rapidly changed in the last 10. Huge organizations have been built in no time at all on the internet. And so currently in Europe, 500 million users are online. Worldwide, it's 2.4 billion users. So, it's a growing market. We believe this will be 4 billion users within the next few years. And so it's a massively growing marketplace out there. Our goal, by 2017, we want to do an IPO. And by then, we're saying we just want a tiny fraction of that marketplace. If we can build just 100 million users, then we will have a very successful IPO indeed. So Cube7, this is the platform that attracts the public. So there's 2 separate organizations. Bonofa is the parent company. I'll talk more about that in a while. That's the marketing arm that allows people like me and you to get involved and profit from things like the Cube7 platform. Cube7 is just one of the many different companies Bonofa is growing. So let's have a look at Cube7 now. They've got 5 of the biggest trends on the internet combined as we speak. Shopping. Again, we all know people that already shop online. I know my sister-in-law buys her groceries on the internet. Click of a button, everything's delivered to the door. So life gets more and more convenient when you start shopping online. Gaming is another huge industry. Lots of kids and teenagers around the world are now downloading games onto their mobile phones and playing and competing with each other and just having fun. It's a big part of the internet. Then we've got the communications part of the platform. I'm going to talk a lot more about that. Very exciting what this company's done differently to what a lot of other companies are doing. Entertainment, again, huge business. iTunes is an example of how big entertainment is. People downloading music and films all day, every day of the week. And a lot of money being made in that arena as well. And then the biggest growth of all of these different trends on the internet, the app market. Apps are huge. I think we can all agree, that the last 2 years to 3 years have seen an explosion in that arena. So what I want to do now is just quickly show you a short film again of our Cube7 platform, which is to go live on the 7th of July, 2013 at 7:07 a.m. Keep your eyes and ears open, invite your friends, tell everybody that this platform is coming soon, and I know everyone's going to want to be on it, especially after they see this video. Enjoy the video, and I'll see you back in a couple of minutes. Thanks. Bye-bye.
I strolled without a care, cause I'm going down the road to a brand new place, and I'll get there with a smile on my face. Yeah, so lift me up, I'm moving on, singing and dancing while I play my song. Yeah, I'm having a good time, keeping it going. Come on, clap your hands and won't you sing along, and now let's take it up high. Give our dreams their wings to fly. Gotta keep the fire, keep the fire burning, keep the hope alive. They gotta keep it turning.
So welcome back. I know you enjoyed that video. If you're anything like me and a lot of the people I've shown the video to, you would have had your foot tapping, your fingers tapping, or your head bouncing. It's a very trendy, very hip video with a great tune in the background. But you can see on that platform already there's a lot happening. It's going to be a very up-to-date platform, an evolved version of everything that's available out there at the moment. This company has invested millions and millions of euros up front and in advance before they've even revealed this platform, and it still hasn't gone live yet. So let's talk about our communication platform. We have things like chat, adding friends, video email, conferencing, so many different features on this platform that allow you to network effectively and start building your friend circle on this new platform. Here's the beautiful thing. As you start to populate this platform with your friends and their friends tell their friends, and it starts to go viral and around the world, bearing in mind this is a global platform, every single user, ultimately, if you're looking at this from a business perspective, every single user ends up in your organization, because not everyone is in Bonofa. So all of these millions of users on Cube7, they ultimately belong to somebody in Bonofa. And so if you're the Bonofa affiliate, then imagine that you told 50 people who told 10 each. That's 500 frontline. If they tell 10 each, that's 5,000 frontline customers. Every time any one of them purchases an app, purchases a game, downloads music, downloads a film, anytime somebody spends money, you will get rewarded, and you'll get rewarded handsomely. This company pays out 80% of all of the profit made on Cube7's platform to the Bonofa affiliates. That's right, 80% of all the profits from the Cube7 platform go straight back up to the agents that populated that platform. So it's really exciting times ahead for all of us as we see that growth. We've also got a phenomenal CRM system thrown in as well onto the platform. Now, this is a really big thing for me as an entrepreneur. I use certain social media companies that they limit how many friends you can have, so you have to have multiple accounts, or if you want to message all of your friends, you can't. You have to inbox them one at a time. Here, every single friend that accepts my request, or if I accept their request, they go straight into my database. It now means I can send emails, receive emails to all of those at the click of a button. It gets better than that. I can send and receive video emails. This is the latest technology that is taking the email world by storm. The ability to record your message, click send, and the person that receives the email just presses play, and they can see you, they can hear you, and they can feel your message personally rather than just reading about it in black and white text. It's revolutionizing the way that people are communicating, and you can do all of this from the platform absolutely for free if you're a Cube7 customer. But if you're in Bonofa, we also give you templates to make those videos sexier and more effective in your marketing message. Not just birthday templates or Valentine's or Christmas, but also business templates. So when you're inviting other people to look at this opportunity, you know, you've got templates that encourage that kind of a person, leaders and people that you're approaching to understand the marketing message behind what we're doing. So, you know, let's have a look at the virtual world today. In the current times, most of the users between 16 and 24 years of age are spending heaps of time listening to music, like I said earlier, you know, playing games, communicating on their mobile phones. This is one of the biggest trends right now. So apps have made that possible. We're going from offline to online, computers and desktops and laptops, and then we're moving into mobile world. It's a whole new world. This is the biggest trend right now. In a lot of countries, more people are spending more time on their mobile phones on the internet than they are on laptops and desktops on the internet. And that is where our app department really comes to play. Imagine this company has a full-time group of programmers, and all they're doing is developing apps all the time that people can download and use and play with and benefit their lives with, and you get to profit from all of those apps. So apps is the biggest trend right now. I'm excited about this company's ability to produce those and partner with other companies that are producing those too. And so what I want to do now is just show you a quick video of one of the apps this company has developed, and for me it's a really useful and effective app, and it's one that I believe will go very viral very quickly. So again, just enjoy this video, and then I'll talk a little bit more about it when we come back. Thanks again. See you in a bit.
The Cube Card, a Cube7 app. Take a photograph of your favorite subject, upload it into the app, create your own special postcard with just a few clicks, add your personalized greeting. Extremely easy to operate. Simply add in the recipient's address, and your personalized card is on its way worldwide. The card arrives at the desired address quickly and with no complications. Send personalized postcards at lightning speed and without a trip to the post office. The Cube Card, a Cube7 app.
Okay, so welcome back, and another very, very high-end video. You can see that this company really does do everything first class. There's no corners cut. Every single video that I've seen of theirs is of television quality. And so let's talk about this beautiful app. It's our postcard app, really simple. 3 clicks and it's done. You take a picture on your mobile phone. Maybe you're on a holiday somewhere, a tourist attraction, or you're at a party with some friends. You take your picture, that's the front of the postcard. You then flip it around, you write your message, name and address of the person that you want to send it to, and then you just click send. And what that does is immediately lands in our printer, a local printer somewhere around the world near you. It lands in their inbox, they print it, they put a stamp on it, and they literally send out a physical postcard on your behalf. Saves you the journey to the post office, searching for the right postcard, etc., etc. Here you're sending a real personal message to your friends in the real physical world. These postcards, you know, they're less than a couple of euros each, which is incredible value. But again, a percentage of that is profit, and whatever that profit is, 80% of it gets rolled out to the Bonofa members above all of those millions and millions and millions of customers. Just one app like this. Imagine that you've got, I don't know, 10,000 friends in your friend circle, you know, your friends and their friends and their friends. And out of those 10,000, even if 100 people send out an app, on that day you get a little commission that you didn't expect, and you know, that's just one of the apps, and now this happens over and over again with all the different apps that this company produces. Really exciting. Then we've got the shopping market. Again, shopping is a huge part of the internet spend right now. Worldwide, currently 35% of all spend on the internet happens on, all spending in the world happens on the internet. But by 2018, we believe that that will be 50%. Can you imagine what it's going to be, by 2020, 2025, as the years start rolling on? There's a massive, like I said, transfer of wealth happening right now. Money is flowing in abundance on the internet. Although it might be drying up on the high streets, it's certainly not disappeared. It's just moved direction. And something that's really important to understand is if you want to get wealthy, you've got to get into the place where money is moving, and right now that's the internet. So again, have the ability to shop online with branded goods that you're already familiar with, goods that you're used to buying already. So again, you're not spending on stuff that you wouldn't buy, you're spending things that you would already buy, but at a special discount. We've got the ability, once we've got the numbers, to negotiate with the top brands in the world and create special, through bulk buying, or group buying, I should say, the power of people, we can negotiate discounts and pass those straight onto our Cube7 customers, and a percentage of that will go back to the Bonofa members that generated those customers. So everybody wins. The customers win, the Bonofa members win, and Bonofa as a company wins as well. So that's really, really exciting. Again, the ability to choose and design your own bags, clothes, etc., etc. Very interactive, very personal, again, keeping people online. And then we've got our gaming platform. Again, already we've got over 100 games lined up, ready to launch this before the end of the year. Again, the company has a strategy. They're going to add a new component every few months just to keep that whole population of the platform really excited and alive and constantly moving forward. Again, we develop apps in-house for games as well as outsource them as well from companies that are experienced and know what they're already doing. So big business as people start downloading games as well. And then we've got our entertainment platform. This is like our iTunes, our version of it. Again, we're not competing with other companies out there. We're just offering very similar services at a lower cost. So I want to ask you, if you could download music from this platform at a lower price than you could from another platform, would you use it? The chances are absolutely yes. And so you can download films and music for very competitive prices. Again, the profit element goes up to the Bonofa members. The savings go directly to the Cube7 customers. Everybody wins once again. But I know that that's not why you're here today. If you're watching this video, the chances are you're watching it to find out how you can make money. So, we've talked a lot about the company, the platform, the backbone of everything that generates the maximum revenue is the Cube7 platform. But now let's talk about Bonofa, the marketing arm. How do you and I get to profit from this phenomenal company that's literally about to take the world by storm? Very simply, we've got a phenomenal membership package that you can take advantage of, 3 different options. So first thing you need to do is become a partner with us and register. It's a one-time €29.90 membership fee. As soon as you've done that, you can then choose one of the following packages. We have a premium, an exclusive, or a VIP package. You get to choose whichever one suits you most. And so once you've worked out which one you want, just click and go, and we start to make money many different ways. Let me show you what you get for each package. The first one is a premium membership. It's €300, just shy of that. And what do you get? We immediately give you €300 of gift vouchers just as a bonus. So that means as soon as the Cube7 platform goes live, you get to spend that money in the form of a discount on anything you see on the platform. You get 10% off using these vouchers. So we're giving you that straight away in savings. Whatever you spent, you're getting that money back when you use the Cube7 platform. Brilliant value. What else? We've got lots of extra membership bonuses. We give you landing pages for the Bonofa business, video email templates. Remember I talked about those earlier? Cube7 people get the video email technology. Bonofa members get the templates as well. So again, we populate that. There are companies charging fortunes just to get these templates. We give them away to you as just part of your package. And then we've got the ABS 360. That's our automated business system, a complete solution to building a network around the world globally and virally. Every single member that joins this company has a complete system in-house in the back office so that you can literally drop an email address into the system and the system will follow up with your guests and drip feed them information on a regular basis using autoresponders and emails with links that drive them to videos that they can get more and more information. This system then allows you to know what those people are doing. So for example, you send your brother a link, you will know the minute your brother watches that video, you get an email saying, hey, your brother just watched this video. And then the system will send another link inviting them to watch a webinar like this one. And they watch the webinar, you get another message saying, hey, listen, your brother just watched 10 minutes, 20 minutes, or 30 minutes of that webinar. So you know who's hot, who's warm, and who's cold. You know exactly where to focus your energy and who to follow up with and how. So it's a very powerful tool that you get as part of that premium membership. For me, that's it's just incredible value. The other thing you can see at the bottom of the screen there is the gift from Bonofa. This gives me goosebumps. I love it. You get .com points when you sign up with this company. What are .com points? Well, I'll talk more about those in a while, but they allow you to own a piece of the company as we get this to the point of IPO. Like I said, more about that in a while. Secondly, again, these are just some pictures here. It's the landing pages that we talked about already. Here we've got the ABS system. And so then we talk about the exclusive deals. Let's have a look. €950 for this membership package. And again, you can see a whole list of different goodies there. You've got, again, we introduce you to the Old English Business Academy. This is phenomenal. For me, it's a passion of mine. Personal development and education, for me, is one of the biggest reasons people succeed or don't. I always say you can have the best compensation plan, the best products and services offered on the marketplace, but if you don't develop yourself, then those tools are wasted. So you've got to work on yourself. One of the first people that they've loaded onto the Old English Business Academy, and there's a lot more to come, but they've already got the Brian Tracy $10,000 Academy on there, and you get a percentage of that in this as the exclusive membership deal. Again, if you go for the VIP pack, you get the whole $10,000 worth here. You get about $2,000 to $3,000 worth of education immediately in your back office. You also get 1,000 euros of credit, the gift vouchers that I talked about immediately. So you're getting more than you're spending immediately, just in terms of gift vouchers that you can use on the platform when it goes live to get 10% off everything that you ever might purchase off of the Cube7 platform. You get your own webinar room. How many of us that are in the field of home-based business pay other companies for a webinar platform? Here, it's included in your package when you come in as an exclusive video conferencing, screen sharing. Again, you're not having to leave your platform. You can do everything from the comfort of one portal. Very, very powerful. Also, you get the ability as an exclusive to earn .com points from team as well. This isn't available for the first membership, but in this one, when you refer people and they refer people, and as there's activity happening in your organization, you get an overrider in the form of .com points for you. Again, you'll see the value of exactly what that means later on. You also get 5 times more .com points just for buying the exclusive package as opposed to the premium package. Again, I hope you see the value of that in a short while. And then we've got our VIP package. This is the most exciting of all. At 2,500 euros, just shy of, you can now access the complete Old English Business Academy. Currently includes the whole $10,000 Brian Tracy education. Very soon will be populated with much, much more from some of the top trainers and teachers of mindset training and entrepreneurship around the world. What else do you get? You get the 2,500 euros of credit in gift vouchers. Again, just to replace what you spent, you've already got that back in the form of savings on the Cube7 platform. Also, you get a share of 1% of Bonofa's turnover worldwide. So again, every single app or every single company Bonofa launches and opens under its brand, you will be able to tap into 1% of that turnover, put into a pot shared just by VIP members. Again, this isn't going to be very much in the early days, but can you imagine as this platform matures and as Bonofa grows to be a worldwide giant within the home-based business arena, if you're just capturing a small slice of that turnover worldwide, that can turn out to be a nice additional income on a monthly basis. Some of the other benefits, you've got free members that come into your organization. So as Cube7 grows and becomes more and more famous and well known, there'll be people that jump onto that platform that didn't get referred. These are loose end customers that belong to the company. The company doesn't want customers directly, so they're going to give them and redistribute them out amongst VIP members. So you can get VIP, you can get Cube7 customers under you through the company directly, and again, anything they spend is going to come back to you. If some of them upgrade, again, you can upgrade them into your organization, etc., etc. Car bonus as well for our VIP members. More details about that later as well. And then the .com points for your team are doubled whatever you would have got as an exclusive. So again, very, very exciting once you understand the power of .com points, and you will as this presentation completes. You also have access to special deals from the company as this matures and goes around the world. The VIP members will have access to deals that the other memberships don't. So some of the privileges of being a VIP member with the organization. And then finally, you get 20 times the .com points that you would have got if you joined as a premium member. So again, very, very exciting right there. Just because you came in as a VIP, you get the ability to share in a much, much larger percentage of the company further down the line. So let's just have a look at the power of numbers. There's you. You've got 5 partners initially when you start. Imagine they get 5 each and they get 5 each. So, over time, you've got yourself 125 on the third layer there. You've got yourself an organization of 155 partners. Well, let's have a look at what that means in terms of income. So we're going to offer you many different types of income. You can see here we've got first order bonuses, fast start bonuses, team bonuses, and infinity bonuses. All of these will be a lot more detailed in your training later on, but right now I'm just going to give you a quick overview of how these work. Your first order bonuses, again, every time you go out and make a sale of any of those packages, if you sell a premium package, an exclusive, or a VIP package, the company will reward you with a first order bonus of 10%. That's right, if you sold a €300 package, you make €30. If you sold a €2,500 package, you make €250. Not bad if you just meet someone for a coffee, you're having a conversation, they say yes, they buy the package, you get your 10%. That's for every member right across the board, a very healthy first order bonus. Let's have a look at what else happens now. So, your fast start bonus kicks in on level 2 and below, right through to 12 levels. This is a uni-level plan. On each level, you're going to get a percentage of that turnover. So imagine your friend Mary makes a sale to Joe. Well, when you sold to Mary, you got 10%. Mary sells to Joe, she's going to get 10%. That's your level 2. You're going to get 5%. You'll get 5% on level 3, you'll get 1% on level 4, 5, and 6, and you'll get 0.5% on level 7 through to 12, and that will happen anywhere in the world. Just imagine as Joe talks to Mary, talks to Joanne, talks to Harry, talks to Kalpesh somewhere. Kalpesh builds a huge organization under your team, and all of a sudden you're getting all of those overriders through to level 7, and you don't even know who that person is in another country. That could be very, very effective. So fast start bonuses, again, very powerful. To qualify for this, you can see that you need 2 personally sold memberships in your organization frontline, and both of them paying the monthly bio. The bio is €29.90 a month. So as long as you're paying that and your 2 frontline are paying that, you have access to all of these commissions. Very, very exciting. Then we get into it a little bit further. Again, just explaining the bio system, you can see what is the bio. That's our whole business all-in-one office. So we talked about the ABS 360. That's our recruitment system. The bio system, the ABS sits inside of this, but it does so much more. It drills into your organization. It gives you reports. It gives you tracking. It gives you all the information you need at the click of a button so that you can see exactly where to spend your time in your organization, who's doing what, where they're at in your team, what levels they're at. You've got a complete communication platform in your back office that allows you to be very effective in your home-based business. And that costs just a €29.90 a month. If everybody's on that in your organization, then everybody's effective and building and duplicating in the correct way. Again, all of this generates a residual income as well in the back office. How does that work? Very, very simple. Every team member you've got in your organization down to 6 levels, you get a percentage of their $29.90. And that percentage is 5 levels on each level. So level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 5% of each one. And again, we're going to show you how you can place people in your organization and still benefit from this at a later date. Very, very exciting. Then we've got the infinity bonus. I love this one. It's one of the most exciting. You may have seen companies with infinity coded bonuses before, but what you haven't seen is a company that pays the little guys an infinity bonus. This is an absolute first. It's a breakthrough in compensation plans, and it excites me to no end because I love seeing the newbies, the little guys, the not superstars, rock star networkers, master of the universe, but the guy that is excited, has got desire, got dreams, and straight out of the gate in the first week or 2 does a little bit of work and gets rewarded on that effort. And so let's have a look at how that works. Very simple. You get up to 19% to infinity on your entire organization depending on what rank you achieve. So you can see on this screen there's a whole bunch of ranks starting from team leader where you get 2% overrider. So level 1 would not be 10%, it would be 12% when you make a sale. And level 2 would not be 5%, it will be 7%, and so on and so forth. But it goes beyond level 12. On level 13, 14, 15 and beyond, you're getting 2% on the entire volume until the next person in your organization achieves the same status. When they do that, they will get the 2%, and then you'll go back to 0 on that part, but you'll still override the rest of your organization by that 2%. Now, if you want to get back on top of the organization that somebody's just qualified at the same level as you, you simply move up another rank and then move up another rank and another. You can see on the screen there's volumes associated to the ranks, and as you start creating those volumes, you get the relevant overriders. Our leadership position here, so we've got a lot of little coded bonuses that get paid out, infinity bonuses, about halfway through, but really the goal is to get to diamond. Diamond is our leadership rank, and as a diamond you get 8% on top of the 12 levels and beyond the 12 levels. That's a huge pay rise. It's 18% level 1. Imagine you sit down and make a sale and you make almost 500 euros when you close out a VIP sale. That's a huge deal. So again, you can do this all day, every day. And then in your whole team, you're going to get 8% for every VIP sold to infinity until the next person at a different code. You always get the difference between you and the people in your organization, whatever the rank they are at. So the name of the game is always stay one step ahead if you know whatever you're doing in terms of volume so that you can override your entire organization. Next bonus we've got is car bonuses. So again, as you start building your organization, generating volume and moving up the ranks, the company has got a whole bunch of different options available to different leaders for what kind of cars they drive. You can see they look really, really sexy, super hot looking cars, and you know, get yourselves qualified for those. We've got some incredible bonuses available right now that whoever showed you this video will sit down and talk to you about how that works exactly as well. But let's not forget the biggest income of all from everything I've talked about is our Cube7 income. Why? Because of the power of numbers, leverage. See, when you can understand that everyone that is your friend on the platform, when they invite friends and they invite friends and they invite friends, that's all like level 1 to you. And so you can earn on all the volume that these people are spending money on 6 generations deep. Again, more on that in the more detailed training videos in the back office, but just comprehend if you're making, let's just picture this. And again, depending on the rank you're at, you know, basics get 12.5%, premiums 25, exclusives 50, and VIPs get 100% commission of what is fed through the Cube7 platform. Again, I've said, imagine a postcard sells for €1.89. Let's say that €1 of that was the profit. And let's say 80 cents of that is commissionable. Well, of that 80 cents, the VIP members will get commissioned on the whole lot. And again, exclusive get half, premiums get 25, and the basic get half of that again. So another reason to position yourself to get the maximum from the Cube7 platform. Let's have a look at social media. Facebook, Google, Twitter. These companies have hundreds of millions, if not Facebook's case, billion plus users. This is it's a revolution in numbers when it comes to business, but that's what the internet allows. It's a borderless world where everything happens in one place. And so when you understand that, Cube7 has no limitations. Let's just imagine that from all of your Facebook friends and Twitter friends and people that you interact with online, let's just say you added 200 of them onto your Cube7 platform as friends. Well, in that scenario, if you made 50 cents per customer per year, you would make €100 a year just from your own customers. What if it was 50 cents per month? Well, that's an extra €100 a month. But again, there's no leverage. It's okay, but it's not going to change your life so much that you can retire on a nice beach on the Cayman Islands. But now have a look at the power of numbers. This is how it really works. Let's say that you've got 500 business partners in your organization and all of those invite 200 friends each. You've now got the ability to build an income from all of those customers on the Cube7 platform. Well, if we imagine that you've got 100,000 users in your organization and at 50 cents each, that's 50,000 euros. If you're making 50 cents a year from that platform, that's 50,000 euros a year. That means that most people all over the world would be able to retire and build their business full time. How exciting is that? But what if it was 50,000 a month? That's the other extreme. What if it's anything in between? Whichever way you look at it, it's very, very exciting when you apply numbers. Now we want to talk about the final and the biggest, I suppose, exit strategy for this company is to do an IPO in 2017 of the Cube7 platform. So Bonofa members build the team then goes and gets customers, we populate the platform, we build a huge organization on Cube7. That then goes public into the market, generates billions in revenue, and guess what? The good news, the company gives every single Bonofa agent a piece of that action. So more about that in just a while. Let's have a look at how the internet has changed the way things work. If we look at the old world, we've got companies like Amway and Avon. Well, let's have a look at how their numbers break down. If we look at Avon, they've got 65,000 reps on average per country. If we look at Amway, they've got 37,000 on average per country. So again, that just gives you an idea of what's possible, in terms of revenue, because these are huge billion-dollar-a-month companies that are, they're the number 1 and number 2 in the world, and that's the kind of numbers that they've got. Now let's have a look at what's possible online. If we look at Facebook, 4.7 million users per country. That's huge. There's a billion plus users, over 4.7, nearly 5 million per country. What about Google? 2.2 almost million per country. LinkedIn, 1.4 million per country. What about WhatsApp? 1.5 million users per country. So again, still all in the millions. Well, look at this. We're just going to water it down. Let's just say that we have 5,000 partners in each country, and we only get to 100 countries around the world. Well, if we just with 5,000, forget the millions of users per country and the big numbers we've talked about, with just 5,000 per country in 100 countries, and if they just get a few customers each, that's 500,000 partners around the world that are getting customers. So this will go into millions of customers, but we've got 500,000 partners that are working together to build this huge organization. Well, if you just imagine that that takes us to 100 million users if they just get 200 customers each. Again, bearing in mind on Facebook, this is the average, a couple of hundred, but I've got 12,000 friends on Facebook. I don't know how many you've got, but it's insane. I've got multiple accounts just to manage all of that. So if you just imagine an average of 200, well, that means that we've got a huge potential here. At an average IPO value, which is the average for a company like this, it's 150 euros per customer on the market. That means that we've got ourselves a huge story right here. There are 5 factors that determine how much a company can generate in the open market. First factor is the number of users. Well, I think we've shown you already a very rock solid plan of how we're going to populate the platform with millions of users. The second thing is data, names, addresses, emails, all this kind of information. The more information you have on a customer, the more that customer is worth in the marketplace. The third thing is time. Again, you've seen that we've offered so much value on the platform, things like video, email, and downloading music, downloading films, being able to make calls on the platform just like Skype, being able to do webinars on the platform means that you don't have to leave, screen sharing. All of these things happen on the platform, which means that our users will be spending more time on the platform than any other platform that I've seen out there. Well, this adds more value to the IPO. And then we've got the buying behavior, shopping habits. Again, we can track all of that on the internet through our platform, and that gives massive value. And then finally, and probably the most important one, is their purchasing power, the information that they use to purchase with. We've got our own Cube7 card. Again, your host will tell you more about that face to face when you hear about it. But the ability to pay for things on the internet with the money on your card, and then all of that tracked, allows us to have an IPO value of 15 billion euros. And again, I think this is a very safe figure because there are many figures out there that really make that look small. If we look at Instagram, bought by Facebook after just a year and a half for $1 billion. I mean, what is that? Just such a simple app, nothing, kind of out of this world. What about this, WhatsApp? This one still gets me to this day. Most people don't know how WhatsApp works. All it is a very simple app. It converts email into SMS. So that when you're sending and receiving messages, it's as if you're SMSing, but you're not. All you're doing is sending an email to each other. So it's already free anyway. But from this simple technology, they raised $7 billion in the market. I think it's very safe to say we can do at least double what they've done. Would you agree with that? Everyone I've shown this to absolutely agrees without a shadow of a doubt that getting double what WhatsApp got, what WhatsApp got, getting double is more than doable. Very, very realistic. What if it was 3-4 times that? You work it out. But if we just go with the 15 billion, let's have a look at what that means. Well, I said right early on in the presentation that when you come on board with this company, they give you .com points as a gift just for joining. For saying, you know what, congratulations for coming on board. Because you're one of our partners early on, we're going to give you the gift of .com points. And at some point in the future, when we take this to the marketplace, whatever points you've collected, you can actually give them back to us, and we will give you a share in the company to the value of whatever you've accumulated. That's powerful. That is super, super powerful. Look at this. 40% of that IPO belongs to us, the Bonofa reps and agents around the world. That means that of the 15 billion, 6 billion will get paid out overnight to the reps and agents and affiliates around the world. Let's just break that down. Imagine you were responsible for 1% of Bonofa's growth, Cube7 platform, between now and 2017. If you had 1% of that organizational volume from the .com points, of the 40 billion points they give away, that means you walk away with $60 million just as a final thank you very much golden handshake on the exit strategy. How cool would that be? That's never happened in network marketing before. I can promise you that. Nobody has walked away with a share of the company like this. 40% belongs to us. That's huge. What if you got 1/10 of a percent? That's still 6 million. What if you got 100th of 1%? That's still over €500,000 as a thank you very much for your part over the next 4 years. And so really, grasp your mind around the bigger picture here. If you can see what this company is doing and what they're allowing us to do on the back of that, they've designed a compensation plan that rewards massively. There's no breakages and hidden agendas. It's very transparent, very see-through. It is what it is. And they don't need to make money from the compensation plan or from the network marketing. For them, the network marketing company is just a vehicle that gets the big numbers on Cube7, and so that creates this whole value, allowing everybody to win and win big. So all we've got to decide is how big our portion is. The next 36 or so months are probably the most important financial 36 months of your life. And so really get together with your spouse, your friend, your partners, whoever is influential and close to you in your life, sit down and share this from your heart as to why you really want everyone to get involved. This is a project that can change lives. Every day we see companies on the internet growing from nothing into huge organizations, but only the owners and the CEOs profit. These guys have designed a system where they're allowing us to profit from the bigger picture of what they're creating. It's an incredible, incredible project. So, thank you for listening to all of that again. Just to remind you, friends, family, people that it's not the people you know, it's the people that they know. You never know who's going to lead you to who. It's often not the people that you sign up into this that will make you the fortunes, but it's the people that they bring to the table that suddenly go crazy and you get a residual off of everything that happens somewhere in your organization. So it's about going global and going viral as quickly and effectively as possible, using the ABS system, of course, to automate all of that. Duplication is so simple in this business because everything's automated. So I want to ask you a quick question. On a scale of 1 to 10, where are you? 10 being, I'm thrilled, I'm excited, thank you so much for a brilliant presentation. Where do I sign? To somewhere in the middle where, I love what I've seen, but I've got more questions. Who can I speak to? In that scenario, you get onto a three-way call with somebody that knows more information than the person that invited you here. Or, oh my God, are you kidding me? Why are you wasting my time? Please don't send me this kind of stuff anymore. If you're in that third category, that's fine. We want to thank you for taking the time to at least listen to this. And maybe if it's not for you, somebody else that's looking. See, a lot of people today, they realize that there's no more security in the corporate world. The corporate world has proven over and over again in the last decade to fail people. People are being made redundant, they're getting sacked, they're losing their job, they're losing hope. And so if you know people that are in a position where they want to take responsibility for their own finances and not depend on anyone else, then send them to whoever showed you this video. Let them partner up with the right people because this isn't for everyone, but it's certainly for some people. And if you know those people, bring them to this direction. This is one of the most exciting opportunities available on the internet today without a shadow of a doubt. That I'm sure you can agree. And on that note, I want to thank you so much for being on this webinar with me. I look forward to sharing a lot more with you in other training videos in the back office, so get onto those as soon as possible. In the meantime, have a wonderful day, week, month, and year, and I'll see you at the top. Once again, signing out, Kalpesh Patel. Bye for now.